And hello, here we are. Everything's all finished, and we have Live2D Cubism open up, and we have the folders where the PSD file is. So this is my file. I'm gonna drag it into Live2D and make sure that everything is showing. So right now I have some stuff in the nose area that I should probably show. So let's go to the nose folder and put that up. Things are a little mismatched, but we'll fix that later. And let's get started on adding meshes to each layer, basically. So right now the default is kind of a square. So here we are, we're moving it. This isn't really ideal, but that's kind of what each part is put in kind of by default. Basically you move things using basically like polygons and triangles. And the more triangles you got, the more flexibility you have. So let me set an example. You can just make some points here, here. I'm just making nonsense triangles. Do not do this at home. And like you auto connect it, you finish, and you have a bit more control over what you have. But this is not correct. This is not correct, but just an example of how this stuff works. So we're going to get rid of that. And here's a shortcut for doing some basic stuff. You click Control A and you bring your mouse up over to the auto mesh button, and you see this, the automatic mesh generator, so it'll create the meshes for you. So let's do kind of standard for all this. Now this is all great and all, but we will be needing to do some more detailed mesh work on some other stuff. So say for instance we have this scarf, for example. I kind of want it to be moving a little more fluidly, so I can just go over here to the auto mesh again, and I can do it to heavy and have a little bit more movement going on. So I can just move this a little bit more if I wanted to, like this. As opposed to if I had a different version, so kind of like that. It's all about more control of the very little things that are going to be needed for your model. But I'm gonna stick this with a heavy one for now. When the time comes for when it's time to actually move and animate the things, you can go back and go over and decide what needs adjustments of what kind of polygons it'll need for each little bit of movement. But there will be manual movement that you'll need to do, especially when it comes to the lips and the eyes and the eyebrows, and anything else you find appropriate. You might want to find the tail. Tail needs to do more detailed work if you want to. It depends on what you want to do, basically. This video series is more of like a little guideline of what you should be doing. Don't copy me, because I make a lot of mistakes. So let's go take care of the bottom lip first. So what we're going to be doing is something I learned from the most recent sample model for the 4.2 beta version of Live2D. Let's go to edit mesh manually, and we go up here. Let's go erase everything, and we go over this. And then we try going in between these little triangles. And depending on how much work you want to do on the lips, you kind of want to maybe make more layers of these. And so let's go over here and adjust these. I'm gonna try seeing what another little layer of triangles might look and do, because this looks like it needs a bit more control. Alright, so we got this little upper layer done, and now the next bit is we kind of go around like this again, but not as detailed. So we grab maybe this line and we go around like this. Try go in between the points so you can make triangles. Now doing this, making meshes manually, I've learned is also something that takes practice. I'm certainly not perfect at it. Some other people might catch onto it more than others, but I'm definitely not one of them. I'm an artiste. I don't do math. This might look good for now, so let's bring the mouse over here to auto connect, and there you go. And we're not done just yet. What we need to be doing is we need to get the path deformer tool. Is that what it's called? Deform path tool. It will make some certain things more easy to move. So I personally like to go from the center and try to make a symmetrical deformer. So here we have here, and we go on this side, and we go over here. And now this is the part that the 4.2 model kind of showed, which is we're not done just here. We go over and we make more of these, because when it comes to moving the mouth, you have a lot more control over how the mouth is going to move, because when you move something, some of these things will want to go into different areas. So let me see if I can pull out my my other model. So to clarify of what makes this method easier, so let's go to this my old model. So say you want to move the mouth up here. Some of these things can distort, and the more you move, the less control you have over everything. It can cause a mess, and it can make gaps happen, which sometimes happens with this model when I move it. So so doing it like this, where I'm able to move this, I can move it without any problem down here. So this makes the mouth raking and movement a lot more easy and less messy. And we do the same thing with this mouth. So once again, we go over here, we erase everything. Now I kind of have this dip in the lip over here. I don't want to lose control over that, so I'm gonna have to try and move the mesh around it. So let's go over here. And then we click auto connect again, and hopefully these triangles will not mess this up. Doing manual polygons is a skill in and of itself, I think, and understanding how it works. So let's do complete. Then we do the same thing. Whoops. And we do the same thing as we did on the mouth. And smooth the mouth. See, other than this counterpart, when I move, you know, this around, it's not as messy as this. Alright, now we can just move on to the eyelash, and I'm going to be showing you another trick in a moment that helps save time. So what we're going to do is that we're going to get this and erase it. And we do the same old usual stuff. Now, when it comes to making path deformer points, it will depend on how much you want to move. So let's kind of try sticking with this. So when I move this eyelash, that probably looks a bit appropriate. And then we go do the same thing to the eyebrows. And there we go, that's the meshes for the eyebrows and the eyelash. Alright, now for the third trick of making things more efficient. You go up to Edit Mesh manually, and then you go to the lasso tool and you select everything. And then you do Control C, and then you check mark, and then you go over here, and you go into the manual thing and you erase it, and then you do Control V, and then after that you right click on this area and you click reflect horizontally, because if you reflect vertically it's just gonna go upside down. So we're gonna do flip horizontally and adjust the mesh to the eyebrow, because I guess I didn't make it completely symmetrical, but that's fine. And there you go. Now, I don't know if I can copy and paste the path deformers, but it shouldn't be too hard. Just kind of mimic what you got, I guess. And there you go. And then we can just do the same thing with the eyelashes. So we go and click this again. We get the lasso tool, Control C, go over here, go into the menu, erase it, Control V, right click, reflect horizontally, and adjust. Then just try mirroring the path deformer. And as for the rest of the meshes, let's look at stuff that might need adjustment. I kind of want maybe these little things to be more controlled. So I click on. I select this, and then I press Shift, and I select that as well. So it looks like both of them at the same time. So what we'll do is we'll go over, we'll go over this, and just do heavy. And we have that. I have a little bow going on, and I might want more control over that. So we can just do heavy. And there you go. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to be going and making the texture atlas, and without the texture atlas, basically your model will not exist. And we can go and look at our canvas settings, see what size it is. This is a pretty massive file. That was kind of a mistake on my part. I tried to export the file in a lower resolution, but it made it all pixely, so I'm just gonna have to stick with this. It might lower my performance on my computer, but we'll see. So be very mindful of that. So right now the width of this is 3000 pixels and the height of this is 6000 pixels. What we're gonna do is kind of go a little extra and do like 8000 by 8000. I know, but it's to make sure that everything is the correct size. Alright, so it looks like everything is here except for this. This is the unset objects, and that's basically the objects that we've made invisible. So let's go back and cancel the texture atlas. Looks like this thing was unchecked, so now it will be showing. And so we go back and do the whole thing all over again. Alright, so everything should be here, all the meshes should be done, and everything should be scaled at 100%. So everything should be the appropriate size. And we click OK. Alright, and that should be everything for this segment of the tutorial. Alright, that's it for this segment. The next segment we should be covering warp deformers, warp hierarchies, and rotators. So keep an eye out for that, and I will see you in the next one.